When was the last time you truly felt your body touching the earth? Not your shoes, not the floor beneath your feet, but you, skin to surface, feeling the quiet hum of something far older than thought. Take a slow breath with me now. Inhale and let it fall. Do it once more. This time, let your shoulders soften, your jaw loosen, your eyes blink slower. Can you feel that tiny shift? That's your body remembering. Now I want you to bring your awareness down. Lower, past your chest, past your stomach, until you reach your knees. Those two simple caps of bone and skin that have carried you through every step of your life, every prayer, every kneel, every fall, every rise. We almost never thank them, do we? But what if I told you? These two humble points on your body are far more than just hinges of movement. What if your knees were gateways, grounding cords, linking your restless mind to the steady pulse of the earth itself? Ancient healers once called them the roots of the traveler. In Eastern medicine, the area around the knees is believed to carry the energy of surrender, the moment where strength meets humility. And in the modern world, where our thoughts race and our bodies forget how to breathe, these roots still wait patiently, asking only to be touched. So let's pause right here. Wherever you are, maybe sitting on your couch or lying in bed or listening quietly on your phone, I want you to gently rest your hands on your knees. You don't need to press hard, just touch and feel the warmth beneath your palms. That simple contact. That's where the magic begins. Imagine for a moment a soft golden light glowing beneath your kneecaps. It spreads slowly, like sunlight through water, calm, steady, alive. As it expands, feel your breath slow down, your heartbeat soften. This isn't imagination. This is your nervous system listening. This is your vagus nerve quietly awakening, sending a signal to your entire body that says, you're safe now. You see, anxiety isn't just in your mind. It's a story written in your body. 1,000 little alarms that never got turned off. Your kneecaps, surprisingly, are one of the easiest ways to speak to those alarms. They are connected through fascia, those web-like tissues that carry messages all through your body. When you place your hands here, you're not just touching bone. You're touching a communication line, one that leads straight to your nervous system, your heart, and your sense of safety. The author Louise Hay once wrote in You Can Heal Your Life, physical pain is often the body's voice, asking to be heard. Maybe your knees aren't just joints. Maybe they've been whispering all along, asking you to pause, to listen, to ground. Take another breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Now picture your knees releasing weight, not physical, but emotional, like sand sliding off a stone. Can you sense that? That lightness, even if it's just for a moment. That's how grounding begins. Not with force, but with attention. There's a reason ancient cultures, from Tibet to Egypt, used kneeling as a spiritual posture. When you kneel, you return your heart closer to the earth. It's a sign of trust, a way of saying, I surrender the illusion of control. In that posture, anxiety has no place to hold on to you. But here's the secret few people ever realize. You don't need a temple or a sacred ritual or a mantra to awaken this. You only need a moment of awareness and your own two hands. So here's something simple I want you to try. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Keep your palms on your knees. Feel the faint pulse of life beneath your fingers. Maybe it's warmth, maybe it's vibration, maybe it's silence. Whatever it is, trust it. And now, quietly ask yourself, what am I ready to release tonight? Let that question linger. You don't need to answer it out loud. Your body already knows. It's strange, isn't it? We spend years searching for peace, in books, in therapies, in screens, but sometimes it's hidden in places we never thought to look. Right beneath our hands, right beneath our knees. This point, this quiet, overlooked space, is not just anatomy, it's memory. It holds the record of how you've carried yourself through life, the tension, the resistance, the unspoken fear of falling again. But when you touch it consciously, it remembers something else too, that you've always had the power to stand again, softer this time. So if you're watching this right now, tell me, where are you? Are you sitting in your kitchen, in bed, on the porch watching the sunset? Pause the world for just a moment and let me know in the comments. Because I want to know. Where is your body resting as your spirit listens to this? And before we move deeper into the next part, before we explore how this simple act connects to your body's healing systems, let's take one last slow breath together. Inhale calm, exhale everything else, and whisper gently to no one but yourself, I am here, I am safe, I'm grounded. If this moment already feels like a small release, trust it. And if your spirit feels drawn to go deeper, tap subscribe, share this with someone who needs it, and let this be your quiet first step toward remembering your body's forgotten wisdom. Now, let's unlock what this technique truly is. You see, what we just did together, that gentle touch on your knees, might look simple. But beneath that stillness, something remarkable begins to happen inside your body. This is where ancient wisdom quietly meets modern science. Let's slow down and understand this in a way that feels real, not rushed. When your palms rest on your kneecaps, tiny pressure receptors under your skin send signals through your peripheral nerves to your spinal cord, and then up to your brain. It's like sending a soft message through a long hallway. All is well. You can rest now. This single act triggers something called the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of your body that brings calm, digestion, and healing. When it turns on, your heart rate slows, your breath deepens, and your muscles finally begin to let go. It's the opposite of anxiety's chaos. It's the rest and restore switch. And your knees, surprisingly, are one of the most effective gateways to it. Dr. Stephen Porges, in his book The Polyvagal Theory, Neurophysiological Foundations of Emotions, Attachment, Communication, and Self-Regulation, explains how the vagus nerve acts as a master communicator between your body and mind. He writes, when the body perceives safety, the nervous system reorganizes itself toward calm, connection, and healing. So when you touch your knees with intention, you're doing exactly that, giving your body a clear signal of safety. Now think about that for a moment. How many times in your life has your body felt unsafe, not because of real danger, but because of thoughts, stress, or memories that never got to rest? Those patterns live inside the nervous system like echoes, and grounding, especially through physical touch, helps rewrite those echoes. There's also a fascinating field of research called somatic psychology, which studies how emotions live in the body. According to Dr. Peter Levine, author of Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma, trauma is not what happens to us, but what we hold inside in the absence of an empathetic witness. When you place your hands on your knees and breathe slowly, you become that witness for yourself. You offer your body the empathy it never got when it needed it most. That's why even a few seconds of mindful touch can begin to melt years of stored anxiety. Let's bring this even closer to home. Your knees are major joint hubs, rich with proprioceptors, sensors that tell your brain where your body is in space. When you engage them, your awareness returns to the present. That's the scientific definition of grounding, bringing your attention back to now. Anxiety, on the other hand, lives in what-ifs and what was. Grounding moves you into what is. Modern energy medicine, too, has its own way of explaining this. Practitioners like Donna Eden, in her book Energy Medicine, Balancing Your Body's Energies for Optimal Health, Joy and Vitality, describe the knees as crossroads, points where meridians, or energy pathways, intersect to balance the flow of life force. She writes, where energy flows freely, healing follows effortlessly. That flow is what you begin to restore when your hands meet your knees. It's the moment when stillness becomes medicine. Now imagine your nervous system as a vast electrical network. When you're anxious, that network sparks chaotically. Wires cross, lights flicker. But grounding touch, especially near joints like the knees, sends a stabilizing current through those circuits. It tells your biofield, that subtle electromagnetic field surrounding your body, to reorganize into coherence. In that coherence, your brain waves begin to slow. Alpha waves rise, the same ones you experience during prayer, soft music, or peaceful meditation. Your heart's rhythm steadies. Your immune system even listens, quietly strengthening itself. And here's something beautiful. You don't need to believe in any of this for it to work. Your nervous system doesn't ask for belief. It only responds to signals. That's what makes grounding so universal. It's not faith-based. It's human-based. This is why anxiety softens, not through force, but through permission. When you touch your knees, you are giving your body permission to stop running. You're saying, I'm here now. And that simple truth is sometimes all the body needs to heal. Let me share something I find deeply humbling. In the book, The Body Keeps the Score by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, he explains, the body remembers what the mind forgets. Every tension, every fear, every skipped breath, it all stays somewhere. The knees, carrying you through decades of movement and burden, remember too. But they also remember how to release. So right now, as you sit or lie wherever you are, I want you to softly circle your knees with your palms. Trace that shape. Breathe in as you move clockwise. Exhale as you move back. You're not performing a ritual. You're completing a circuit. A connection between your body's electricity and the calm pulse of the earth. Can you feel that faint tingling, that warmth? That's your parasympathetic state blooming. That's your vagus nerve humming quietly in gratitude. That's your anxiety finally finding a voice that says, you don't have to hold this anymore. So maybe the real secret isn't that touching your knees creates calm, but that it reveals it. Calm was always there, waiting beneath the noise, waiting beneath the skin. And if you can already feel a subtle difference, a softer heartbeat, a steadier breath, just know that's your biology catching up with your spirit. Now that you understand how this works inside your body, let's go one step deeper. Let's learn how to do this technique, precisely, gently, and in rhythm with your breath. Because when you do it with intention, your whole energy field begins to shift. Now that you understand what's happening within you, let's experience it, fully, consciously, together. This isn't a performance. It's a remembering. Your body already knows how to ground. We're simply giving it permission. So wherever you are, sit comfortably. If you're in a chair, let your feet touch the ground. If you're on the floor or a bed, let your legs relax completely. Feel the weight of your body being held by something bigger, something steady. Let your breath fall into a natural rhythm. Now gently bring your awareness down to your knees. You might not realize it, but your knees are constantly listening. To gravity, to balance, to your every move. Right now, they're about to listen to something even more important. Your attention. Place both of your palms softly on your kneecaps. Not pressing, just resting, like you're saying hello to them for the first time in years. Your skin may feel warm against theirs or maybe cool. Either way, stay here, take a slow, deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel the warmth of your hands begin to spread into your knees. Imagine that warmth traveling deep inside, through the tendons, the ligaments, the joint itself. It's not just warmth, it's communication. As you breathe in, silently say to yourself, I am here. As you breathe out, I am safe. Repeat this rhythm a few times and notice how your breath begins to slow on its own. Now, visualize something. A golden light, soft and shimmering, begins to glow beneath your kneecaps. With every inhale, that light brightens, and with every exhale, it flows downward through your legs into the floor, into the earth. You're grounding, not in imagination, but in energy. According to The Heart of the Mind by Stephen Gilligan and Robert Dilts, intention combined with attention transforms the body's physiology. That's what you're doing right now, using your awareness to transform your body's message from tension to trust. Let's continue. Now press your palms just slightly, a soft, steady pressure. You don't need force. Think of it like pressing into memory. Hold that pressure for a few seconds. Then release. Do this a few times. Press gently. Release. Press again. Release. Each time you release, imagine a small wave leaving your body, a wave of stored stress, flowing out through your knees and into the earth. You can almost picture the earth absorbing it, neutralizing it, like a mother taking back what no longer serves you. Now bring your fingers to the sides of your knees. Feel the curve, the bone, the space beneath your thumbs. Massage in small circles. Clockwise first, 3 slow turns. Then counterclockwise. Move with your breath. You're not trying to fix anything. You're reintroducing yourself to your own body. If you're feeling slight tingling or warmth in your legs or feet, that's energy moving. If you're feeling emotional, a memory, a sigh, even a tear, that's energy releasing. Both are welcome. Pause. Let your hands rest again. Feel the pulse beneath your palms, faint but certain. That rhythm has been with you since before you could speak. It's your body's quiet promise. I'm still here. Now let's add one more layer. As your palms rest, close your eyes. Breathe slowly and imagine, with each inhale, a thread of light rising from your knees up toward your hips, your heart, your throat, the top of your head. With each exhale, the same thread flows back down, returning to your knees and deep into the ground. You are connected above and below, spirit and earth, energy and body, one circuit of calm. Dr. Candace Pert, in her book Molecules of Emotion, wrote, "Your body is your subconscious mind. Every touch, every thought, every feeling is recorded there. When you touch your knees like this, you're not just calming your mind, you're rewriting the signals your body carries. Now try this variation. If your mobility allows, shift forward slightly until your knees are almost touching the ground. Let your palms rest on them once more, and imagine your kneecaps as glowing discs of light, gently connecting to the earth beneath you. You might even whisper, quietly, gently, I release what I no longer need. Feel the echo of those words travel down your arms, into your palms, and out through your knees. If you prefer a subtler version, you can do this lying down too. Bend your knees slightly, let your hands hover just above them, and imagine your energy extending downward, like roots reaching into soft soil. Even without touch, your intention carries the same power, and if you want to deepen it even more, pair it with sound. A soft hum, the sound of resonating from your chest, vibrating down your body into your knees. That vibration travels through your bones, through your fascia, into the same nervous system that once held your anxiety. Now it becomes music. In this moment, your whole system is learning what peace feels like again. Not as an idea, but as a sensation. Now pause. Let your hands fall naturally into your lap. Breathe. Notice your body, the weight, the temperature, the rhythm. Does your breath feel smoother? Do your shoulders feel a little lighter? Maybe even your thoughts seem quieter. That's grounding. That's your body remembering its original calm. And here's the beautiful part. You can do this any time. In the morning before you rise. In the evening before sleep. Even while sitting quietly in a waiting room or watching the sunset. The body doesn't need ceremony, only sincerity. So as we move forward, stay with this feeling. Because what happens next, the emotional and inner shift, is where the real transformation begins. The science fades here, and the spirit begins to speak. As your kneecaps rest gently on the ground, something inside you begins to soften. At first it's subtle, like the quiet after rain. The breath that once rushed through your chest begins to slow. The mind, which once scattered in 1,000 directions, begins to gather itself, like fallen petals returning to the same stem. What you are feeling is not just calmness, it's coherence. Your body, mind, and breath are beginning to communicate again after a long silence. In this position, knees touching the earth, spine tall, breath steady, you are aligning two languages, the language of the nervous system and the language of the soul. When your knees touch the ground, the body releases tension from the psoas muscle, often called the muscle of the soul. This muscle connects your spine to your legs, linking emotion to movement, fear to stillness, flight to grounding. Most people, especially those who live in constant alert, hold anxiety here, deep in this inner core. The simple act of kneeling eases that invisible grip. Imagine it this way: your body has been like a harp with one string too tight, always humming with a faint vibration of unease. When your kneecaps meet the earth, the string loosens. The tone changes. That shift is emotional, chemical, and spiritual at once. A 2018 study published in Frontiers in Psychology found that physical grounding, direct skin contact with the earth, can regulate cortisol, reduce inflammation, and improve heart rate variability. But beyond these scientific effects, something deeper occurs. The body remembers safety. Many of us forget what it feels like to be safe. We live with our shoulders lifted, breath caught halfway, hearts half-armored. Kneeling brings back a forgotten memory coded in your DNA, a memory of surrender without fear. In many ancient cultures, this position symbolized devotion, not because of submission, but because of connection. Kneeling is how our ancestors prayed, grieved, forgave, and thanked. It's how they returned energy to the soil that sustained them. When you touch your kneecaps to the ground, you're also returning to that ancient rhythm, the heartbeat of humility. Author Thomas More wrote in Care of the Soul that the soul does not require saving. It requires witnessing. And that's what happens here. The body witnesses the soul's longing to rest. As your body finds stillness, notice the gentle wave of emotions that rise. Sometimes sadness, sometimes warmth, sometimes relief. Don't resist it. These emotions are not random. They are memories dissolving. Anxiety is often a message from a part of you that has felt unseen. The grounding posture allows those messages to surface in a safe way. You may notice your eyes welling up or a soft sigh escaping your lips. That is your body exhaling its history. If you can, stay with that sensation. Place your hand lightly on your chest and imagine a golden thread running from your heart down through your spine, into your knees, and deep into the earth. With every breath, this thread strengthens, drawing from the calm beneath the soil, the same calm that trees depend on to stand tall. In The Untethered Soul, Michael A. Singer wrote, "The moment you accept the energy of what is, the moment you stop fighting it, you'll begin to feel it release." That's the secret of this practice. It doesn't demand you to fight anxiety, it invites you to stop resisting it. As the energy releases, many experience a gentle warmth spreading through the belly and chest. This is the vagus nerve activating, the great regulator of calm. It signals the heart to slow down, digestion to ease, and mind to return home. Some call this the parasympathetic wave. Others simply call it peace. If you close your eyes now, imagine your breath forming a soft mist inside your body. With each inhale, the mist gathers at your knees. With each exhale, it flows down into the earth, carrying away tension, fear, and old stories that no longer belong to you. Now listen. Beneath that stillness, you might sense something faint but unmistakable, a pulse not of your heartbeat, but of the earth's. That pulse is steady, eternal, and kind. It reminds you that you are not separate from the ground you kneel upon. You are part of it. In The Body Keeps the Score, Dr. Bessel van der Kolk writes, "The body bears the burden of the past until it finds a way to return to the present." Through this grounding act, you have found that way. Your knees, your breath, your heartbeat, they are gateways to the present moment, where anxiety cannot survive. This is why monks kneel. This is why children play close to the floor. This is why the most sacred prayers happen in silence, with knees bowed. Because the closer we come to the earth, the closer we come to ourselves. Now take a moment to notice what has changed inside you. Maybe the air feels thicker, softer. Maybe your breath feels fuller. Maybe your mind feels less noisy. These are not coincidences. They are signs of return. Return to rhythm, return to self, return to simplicity. When the knees meet the ground, the ego bends too. And in that bend, peace is found. If you're watching this right now, ask yourself, when was the last time you felt truly grounded, truly supported, not by a person, but by life itself? Share your answer in the comments below. Your story might help someone who's still searching for theirs. And as you breathe here, remember, this isn't a trick to fix anxiety. It's an invitation to befriend it, because the earth beneath your knees isn't just soil. It's memory, it's medicine, it's home. Long before modern science could name the vagus nerve or measure electrical grounding, ancient people already understood that kneeling carried a hidden current, a bridge between heaven and earth, spirit and flesh. When your knees touch the ground, you are not just performing a posture. You are entering a dialogue that countless generations once knew by heart. In ancient Egypt, initiates of the mystery schools were taught that the human body was a miniature temple of the cosmos. Every gesture, every touch had meaning. Kneeling was seen as a sacred realignment, an act that brought the Ka spirit back into harmony with the Be soul. The earth beneath them was not dead matter. It was a living consciousness called Geb, the father of all things that grow. To kneel upon Geb was to acknowledge the ground as divine intelligence, a reminder that you are supported not by coincidence, but by the very structure of creation itself. The same gesture appears in early Christian art. Saints, monks and angels are shown kneeling, not in submission, but in communion. The ground beneath them was a symbol of humility, the spiritual soil in which wisdom grows. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return, says Genesis 3:19, not as a punishment, but as a truth, that what bends returns to its source. In Eastern traditions, kneeling holds a vibration beyond posture. In Japan, the seiza position, kneeling with feet folded beneath, was used not only for meditation, but for cultivating kokoro, the harmony of mind, body, and heart. The act of touching one's knees to the tatami was a ritual of mindfulness, an embodied acknowledgement that sacredness lives in simplicity. Across time, the gesture of kneeling has always meant presence. When you lower yourself, the spirit within rises. The Taoist sages spoke of this balance beautifully. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu writes, "The softest thing in the world overcomes the hardest. That which is yielding conquers that which is unyielding. To kneel is to yield, not out of weakness, but out of deep wisdom. The body surrenders so that energy may flow freely again." The knees, symbolic of flexibility, humility, and devotion, become gateways for qi, life force, to circulate downward, grounding spiritual light into physical form. In Native American teachings, elders would often kneel when praying to the Great Spirit, pressing their hands or knees into the earth to speak through the soil. They believed the ground could hear thoughts more clearly than the air could. To them, kneeling was a conversation with ancestors, for the bones of those who came before still rested beneath the same soil. When you kneel today, perhaps in your bedroom, garden, or quiet living room, you are repeating that same sacred movement. You are echoing a gesture that once called rain, summoned healing and gave thanks. But in our age of endless screens and rigid chairs, we have forgotten the wisdom of the knees. We stand tall but feel disconnected. We chase comfort but lose contact. Yet the body remembers. The moment you lower yourself, the ancient circuitry lights up again. The philosopher Mircea Eliade once wrote in The Sacred and the Profane, "To kneel is to situate oneself at the center of the world, where heaven and earth meet." That's the essence of grounding. It's not just a physical act. It's a sacred reorientation. When the knees touch the ground, you're silently saying, "I belong here. I am part of the world, not separate from it." In Islamic prayer too, the posture of sujood, forehead and knees to the ground, is considered the moment of closest proximity to the divine. It's when the heart bows and the spirit listens. Neuroscientists now know that this posture reduces blood pressure and activates the parasympathetic nervous system. But long before that, mystics knew it quieted the self. This union of ancient faith and modern physiology tells a single story. The wisdom of the body has always been sacred. In Anatomy of the Spirit, Caroline Myss describes how each part of the body corresponds to a spiritual lesson. The knees, she says, are linked to humility and forgiveness. When they stiffen, we resist change. When they soften, we accept the flow of life. Healing, she writes, begins the moment you stop resisting your path. Think about that for a moment. How many of your anxious thoughts are rooted in resistance? wanting life to be different, safer, faster, easier. When your knees touch the earth, that resistance melts. You're no longer fighting gravity. You're working with it. In that sense, kneeling becomes both a spiritual and emotional alchemy. The same force that once pulled you down in exhaustion now holds you up in reverence. The golden thread connecting all these traditions, Egyptian, Christian, Taoist, Native, Islamic, is not religion but remembrance. They all point to one truth. Grounding is sacred because the earth is sacred, and so are you. Close your eyes for a moment. Visualize a golden spiral forming beneath your knees, spinning slowly in the soil. With every breath, that spiral draws energy upward through your legs, into your heart, into your crown. Feel that light anchoring you to both earth and sky. This spiral has been known by many names: the Kundalini serpent, the tree of life, the spiral of Geb, the axis mundi. But its meaning is constant. It represents the pathway between the physical and the divine. And in this simple act of kneeling, you are standing at its center. When anxiety dissolves, what remains is clarity. And clarity is sacred vision. It's the same sight prophets called revelation, poets called grace, and scientists call awareness. So when you touch your knees to the ground, remember, you are not performing a ritual of smallness. You are performing a ritual of return. The ground beneath you is not beneath you. It is holding you. Let that sink in. Feel the humility of the moment and the majesty within it. Now ask yourself gently, when was the last time you felt this connected to something greater than your own thoughts? Share your reflection in the comments below. Someone might find peace in your words, because the gesture of kneeling is not just ancient, it's eternal. It's how the human heart remembers its roots while reaching for the heavens. There are rivers that run beneath your skin, silent, electric, and older than language itself. Modern anatomy calls them nerves and fascia, but in ancient temples and healing lodges, they were known as energy meridians, nadis, or currents of light. When you touch your kneecaps, you're not just pressing flesh against bone. You're awakening these long-forgotten pathways that once connected the human body directly to the Earth's magnetic rhythm. Imagine your body as an ancient map, drawn not with ink, but with memory. Every joint, every nerve was once seen as a sacred junction, a meeting place of heaven's energy and Earth's pulse. The knees, resting halfway between your heart and your feet, were understood as transmitters. They carried the charge of the earth upward, just as trees draw sap through their roots. In old Chinese medicine, the area around the kneecaps corresponds to points along the stomach and spleen meridians, pathways responsible for nourishment, grounding, and emotional stability. Practitioners called it the gate of stillness. By stimulating this area, one could balance the earth element within the body, calming excessive thoughts and restoring inner peace. The logic was simple yet profound. When your inner earth is steady, your mind becomes clear. Now picture this through the lens of modern science. Beneath the skin of your knees runs a network of sensory nerves connected to the sciatic and femoral systems, two great highways of the lower body. When lightly pressed, these nerves send signals to the brain that activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural calm and restore mode. This shift slows the heart rate, deepens the breath, and releases a wave of relaxation through the entire system. What ancient healers felt as energy flowing, science now recognizes as neurological regulation. And yet, they are describing the same thing, just in different languages of truth. As Dr. Candace Pert writes in Molecules of Emotion, the body and mind are not separate. They are one continuous system of communication. Every thought is a chemical. Every emotion has a molecule. This insight bridges the invisible and the visible. When you kneel and gently press your kneecaps, you are physically speaking to your body in a language it understands. Touch, breath, stillness. You're sending a signal through those forgotten pathways that says, you are safe now. Ancient yogis describe this as the awakening of apana vayu, the downward moving current of life force. It governs elimination, grounding, and release. When apana flows freely, Anxiety dissolves because the energy of worry finally has somewhere to go. It moves downward into the earth, transforming into peace. Modern neuroscience supports this. Research into grounding therapy, the practice of direct contact with the earth, shows that touching soil, grass, or stone allows the body to absorb electrons from the ground. These electrons neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and restore the body's natural electrical balance. It's the same mechanism the ancients described through metaphor. Energy returns to its source, and balance is restored. The book, Earthing, the most important health discovery ever, by Clint Ober, Stephen Sinatra, and Martin Zucker, captures this beautifully. When your bare skin touches the earth, your body receives a charge of life energy that makes you feel better, fast. It's as if Mother Earth is healing you, one heartbeat at a time. It's no coincidence that the kneecaps are one of the most natural grounding points of the body. They are strong, wide, and perfectly shaped to meet the Earth's surface. When your knees rest upon the ground, your entire body's circuit closes, a loop of bioelectric harmony that allows excess tension to drain and new vitality to rise. Ancient African and native traditions both spoke of this same exchange. The Dogon people of Mali believed that spiritual energy entered through the crown of the head and exited through the knees and feet, returning to the earth to be purified. They called it Nyama, the essence of life. By kneeling during rituals, they allowed stale energy to flow downward while drawing renewal from the soil. In modern terms, this process mirrors the piezoelectric effect, a property of living tissue in which pressure generates subtle electrical currents. Each time your knees touch the ground, your connective tissue produces a microcurrent that interacts with your body's biofield. This helps realign your internal rhythms with the Schumann resonance, the Earth's natural electromagnetic frequency. It may sound poetic, but it's profoundly practical. Your body is literally tuning itself to the Earth's heartbeat. In The Energy Cure, Dr. William Bengston describes healing energy as information carried on an electromagnetic wave. When you ground yourself through the knees, you're not just calming your mind. You're opening the body to receive new information from the earth itself, information coded in balance, patience, and stillness. Have you ever noticed that when you sit or kneel on grass, your breathing slows without effort? Or that the sound of waves or rain seems to travel through your bones, not just your ears? That's the resonance of grounding, the forgotten symphony of energy pathways harmonizing with the natural world. Now gently bring your awareness to your own body. Feel your knees, even if you're not kneeling right now. Imagine soft, golden roots extending downward from them into the soil. Each breath carries light through these roots, dissolving any static in your energy field. With every exhale, you release tension. With every inhale, you receive calm. This is the living wisdom our ancestors practiced long before they had devices or definitions. They didn't need to believe in it, they felt it. The earth was their healer, their teacher, their silent companion. And perhaps that is what we've forgotten, not just the energy pathways within us, but the relationship that sustains them. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you allowed your body to touch the earth, not by accident, but as an act of intention? When was the last time you let silence speak louder than thought? Write your answer below in the comments. Your story might remind someone else to return home to their own body, because these pathways were never truly forgotten. They've only been waiting for your touch, your stillness, your willingness to remember. Stay right here for a moment. Don't rush to stand, don't rush to think. Just breathe. Feel the quiet hum that now lives beneath your skin, steady, soft, and alive. What you feel right now isn't just calm. It's remembrance, your knees, your breath, your heartbeat. They've been whispering the same truth since the beginning. You belong to the earth. As your kneecaps touch the ground, something ancient awakened, not as a sound but as a knowing. The same knowing that guided monks to kneel in silence, healers to touch the soil before every prayer, and mothers to rest their hands on the earth after planting seeds. It's a rhythm older than memory, one your body still understands. Take a slow breath in. Feel it travel from the crown of your head, down your spine, through your knees and deep into the ground. Now exhale. Let everything unnecessary dissolve. Thoughts, tension, self-judgment, all of it melting back into the soil. This is what it means to be grounded, to remember that peace is not something you find, it's something you return to. Author Thich Nhat Hanh, in Pieces Every Step, wrote, "Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment." That's the invitation this practice offers, not to escape anxiety, but to smile in the middle of it, to realize that even your storms are part of the weather of being human. And now, as this gentle session closes, imagine a soft golden light rising through your knees. It moves through your thighs, your spine, your heart, filling every cell with quiet assurance. You are safe. You are supported. You are home. If you could see your energy field right now, you'd notice it glowing brighter than when you began, not because you changed who you are, but because you remembered what you are, connected. In the power of now, Eckhart Tolle reminds us, you are not your mind. You are the awareness beneath it. That awareness, the silent witness within you, is what remains when the anxiety fades. It's the space where stillness lives, waiting to be felt again and again. Before you leave this moment, ask yourself softly, what does calm feel like in my body right now? Describe it, even silently. Give it a name, because when you name peace, it stays longer. Now place your hands gently on your knees. Whisper a small thank you to your body, to the earth, and to the energy that guided you here. This is your closing portal. Not an ending, but a doorway. A way back home, every time life becomes too loud. If this journey helped you release something, share it below. Your reflection might be the light someone else is waiting for. And if this calm found you today, imagine what the next discovery will bring. Subscribe to the Spine Gospel, and let this space be your quiet corner of the internet, where science meets spirit, and the body remembers its own divinity. Until next time, breathe softly. The earth is still holding you. You are already grounded.